Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel, and I'm in deep. I finally bought myself a big boy box. I've got the Black Templar Combat Patrol, and this boy is a chonker. There's a lot in here. So the one thing I've always wanted is just a huge box of plastic to try all sorts of different stuff on. And I didn't really know about the combat patrols until quite recently. And then the second I found out about them, that was it. I looked through every single one. I watched tons of reviews and unboxings, and I landed on the Black Templar one for a few different reasons. And mostly because I think it's got a good spread of models. So you've got 17 in here, which feels like a lot. As well as like coming with lots of Space Marines, it comes with a cool captain that I can kind of just go all out on and try and make like a best looking model yet. And also just a massive, what was it, impulsor? Yeah, a massive Primaris impulsor. So in this video, I think we're going to unbox this, build some Marines, and then I think I'll just paint one of them as a Black Templar, because it'll be my first Black Templar. I'll paint one of these Primaris Crusaders, because these seem awesome. These seem really cool. They're like their cloth and their belts and all their gear. And then in future videos, we'll do like whole squads, try cool different things, go for the captain and the tank on their own. But let's get into this now. I can't wait any longer. Here we go. I've been chomping at the bit to get this open. I've already ripped the box off. So let's just get stuck right in. Oh, it feels weighty. Oh my god. What is all of this? Oh, it's a proper booklet. I mean, it makes sense because so many models, but oh, that's both weighty and oh my god, there's so much plastic. This is both exciting me and terrifying me at the same time because there's so much. Oh my god, I just want to get stuck in. Like, look at this cape. Is this rocks? Is that for the basing or something? We'll get down to each individual bit when it comes to building those models. But I just want to sort of unbox and go through it. What on earth is? Oh my god, I'll come back to that later. Look at how many sprues there are. I mean, this is exactly what I wanted. I just wanted a huge box of plastic. And that way I could just try all sorts of different buildings and paintings and all sorts of stuff. This is I'm assuming this is the part for the vehicles, like these big, huge panels and this thing. Look at the size of these bits. Wow. But man, at first glance, this looks incredible. I feel like this will last me a long time. Those will give me a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, I think in this video we'll go build a complete Primaris Crusader, prime him and paint him and do that whole process. And then in the next few videos we can do like a few of them, try out some funky stuff and different techniques for the other ones. So without waffling on too much, yeah, we'll start building a Primaris Crusader with this B variant here. Here goes nothing, I guess. So yeah, first up we need C16, C51, C50. Let's just put this down to one side, and then what's next? I need C13, C12, and C49, which are some legs. Let's have a scan of this. Cool, so we've done this section here. We built the torso. The next step is to put some... Oh, I guess we actually got to put the shin pads on. So C76. There should be two of them on this sheet somewhere. And then this is where the tweezers will actually come in handy, so see if I can find them. Cool, so now that's actually done. We'll just leave that to dry at one side. We've done all this now. We just need to put it on a base, but I think I might leave that till later. And then next up, we've got two options. And this bit I absolutely love. So what I want to do is I think I want the axe. Yeah, I definitely want this green one. I don't think I want just one guy running in with a sword. It's a bit meh. I want like a weapon, a big weapon in one hand and like a gun in the other. That'd be cool. I just can't decide between the two weapons. So we've got the axe here, or this massive sword. Let's put the cloak on, because next up we've got to do the cloak and the backpack. So and then the gun as well on the other hand. So maybe once we've done everything else and we put the weapon on last, that can sort of bring it together and we can make a decision. C80 and C78. So we've got our cloak, our backpack, and this little thing at the top. Let's just stick all these together. I don't know how they go on. Oh, I like the cloak. Although, I'm not sure how I'd go about painting this with the cloak on, so I might leave this off for now. Because yeah, this cloak's on. It's going to be really hard to get in between these gaps with the cloak on, like the background here. So do I just leave this off? Okay, so it can go on after the backpack, I think. So maybe, yeah, maybe leave the cloak off for this guy. Look at that. I've no idea what this little top bit is, lore-wise, but I like it. It's awesome. I like having as much extra over-the-top details as possible. Next up is, yeah, his arms. So what's the arm I need to do with the gun? Oh my god, I've got to build it. C58 or C59? Let's have a look. So I found 59 is this thing here, but it doesn't look like a full arm, so I'm guessing, yeah, I've got to build it with 59 and 58. Of course, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not sure what's happened here. Let me just organise the desk. So the book mentions here his arm should be, you get PC 58 and then you can glue one of two to it, depending on which one you want, whether you want like a flamer or a bolter. And you can glue 58 or 59 to it, but it says this piece is 58. So I've had a look on the sprue, and I can't find a second number 58. This piece here kind of looks similar to what's in the book, but it's labelled as 57. I'm tempted to just quickly skim through the book to make sure that 57 isn't mentioned again, and then chalk it down to like a printing error, because I've heard it can happen sometimes. Yeah, so it doesn't look like C57 is actually mentioned again, so it could just be a printing error. What I think might have happened is this should say 57, so yeah, I don't know if you can see the numbers. This is 58, this was 59, and there's 57 here. And it kind of looks like the hand that's in the booklet. Let's put it down. Yeah, it fits in perfectly. Yeah, oh my god. So there's another little tip for you. Sometimes the book's just wrong. There's like a printing error. So let's grab some glue wherever it's gone. So while that dries, we can pick out the shoulder pads, which is 86, and then the helmet is 91. So I need the two 86s and the 91. There's our helmet, number 91, nice and easy. And then I've already forgotten 86. Oh, there it is, 86 at the top here with this cool like cross insignia. Well, I kind of want him looking at like what he's shooting. Oh, look at that! Yeah, it's like that's sick. Yeah, then what I might do then, I think this has definitely helped me decide. I think I want to do the axe. I think I do want to have it like up, like it's up in the air, like he's about to like bring it down with someone. Yeah, look at that, that's sick. Oh, that's so cool. Look at him, like he's like kind of running and like bringing it down. I absolutely love this guy. Cool, so I guess we'll just leave all this to dry and then go prime him. Here he is, all primed up and ready to go. Nice smooth coating of Chaos Black. But yeah, so what we're going to start off with is just a base layer of Abaddon Black. We've already undercoated it with Chaos Black, but it's always good just to do a base layer of Abaddon. That way later on when we come back to fixing all of the hundreds and hundreds of mistakes I make with Abaddon Black, it will match the undercoat. Because actually the Chaos Black and Abaddon Black, while they're both black, I think they're like a different shade. They're a slightly different shade. Oh, here we go. The first stroke of a new model. Cool, so I'm actually going to start off with the shoulder pads this time, the trim. There's like a red trim around the shoulder pads. We're going to start off with them, and that's going to be Mephiston Red. Cool, yeah, so it's just the trim and the star of the shoulders. Oh, that is looking cool. I really like the red and black. That's awesome. I will say it's given me like nostalgia, I guess, for like the first minis I ever painted. So like, yeah, so these Infernus Marines were the first ones I painted. So like, this is the first time I guess going back to like small models with intricate details. It's given me like a weirdly, it's given me nostalgia. I've only painted 9 figures so far. It's cool to come back to like the small fine details, like the first models I ever did. But it's cool. I definitely found it's interesting coming back as well, because I found these sort of like small details the hardest on the first models I ever painted. But now it's kind of like, it's not that bad. So it's kind of cool to see the progress in skill and confidence, I guess. Cool, next up, I'm just going to do some of our lead belcher. We've got some silver sections. Like there's some chains. There's like a wrist strap here. I think this skull's meant to be silver as well on here. Oh no, it's meant to be white. Actually, we'll do that first. We'll get some white scar. Just add some variety to it, because that way we don't have to change the palette after we use a metallic colour. Cool, there we are. The skull's done on the shoulder pads. Adds a nice little something to them, just a little bit of extra detail, which is cool. I think we can move on to the silver, I think. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of silver bits of the chains and the guns. So now we'll actually move back onto the lead belcher like we promised. Cool, so we've done a few little details on him so far. We've done the red on the shoulders with the little white skull and a lot of the silver. So what have we got left to do? So what I'm going to do is the belt next, just because I've got the colour here, I've got somewhere. So we've got some Mournfang brown that we can use for the belt and some pouches on the back, or has he just got a belt? Yeah, he's just got a belt, like a belt buckle. And that way, once we've done that, we can paint the belt buckles and the other bits that need to be gold. Yeah, cool. So I'll do the belts brown, and then what I'll probably do is leave it there for tonight, and then tomorrow, first thing, go pick up some corn red, and there's a washer I need to buy. 2 washers, actually. So yeah, let's crack on with the belt. Cool, I think that's all the brown. I like that, that's quite cool. It's not really a colour I've used that much before. So yeah, seeing it on the belt, like, it's quite cool. I like how it interweaves between other parts. It just occurred to me that this spaceman has a belt. Like, what on earth could this man need a belt for? He's wearing like 20-ton power armour. That's not holding up his pants. Cool, yeah, so just while we're here, I'm going to do the white on this section, because I've already got some white in the palette in the middle here. Right, I'm not sure what I've done to this, but I've made an absolute mess of it at the top, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stop there for now, let that dry overnight, and then come back and see how it's looking, because I'm making a bit of a mess there. Well, awesome, it's coming along quite nicely. I like how the belt interweaves with other parts, and it's got like a little belt buckles and little details on them. So my plan now is I really want to do this tabard, because I feel like it takes up so much of the model, and it will really sort of bring it all together and make everything else stand out. And I'm going to, first thing tomorrow, I'm going to go to the shop and grab some skeleton horde, some corn red, and then rust grey, I think it was. Yeah, some rust grey for some highlights. So yeah, next thing, I guess you'll see me, I guess we'll be back here, but I'll have 3 or 4 new paints. Right, as promised, I've been to the shops and I brought some paints. So we've got some corn red for the guns, I think it is. Then we've got this skeleton horde contrast paint for the tabard. We're going to do like a white scar underlay with the skeleton horde on top. Then we've got some rust grey for some edge highlights. I'm keen to try this over a more darker grey, because this will really highlight the highlights. It'll make them stand out, so it'll be good for the review process to look at it, and then we can see how much we've covered, how good the highlighting is, where we've missed and stuff. So I think this will be good just from a lesson learning point of view, to see where we've gone wrong or where we can do better or what's worked. So that's for edge highlights, and I've also got some Eshin grey for the ribbons on the back. So let's crack on. I'm going to go with the tabard next. So I'm going to paint the entire tabard. This tabard's going to be white scar. So I've seen a recipe I saw was a layer of white scar on the tabard and then some skeleton horde over the top. So I'm going to do that. Cool, so a lovely nice smooth pot of white. I'm a little bit anxious to do this because it takes up so much of the model. Sweet, so there's the first coat done, quite thin. What you'll notice as well is actually, because there's these 2 tassels either side of the tabard that need to be red. There's one here that's still black, and I've undercoated one in white. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint them both Mephiston red, but I saw someone do an undercoat of white first. I'm assuming because the red goes over the white a bit easier than the black. I'm not really sure, so I kind of wanted to try it out and see what it looked like. So I painted one side with a white undercoat and one side without, so that way we can see the difference of Mephiston red on top of black and then Mephiston red on top of a white undercoat, just to see if it makes painting any easier or the colour change. Just a nice little lesson to learn. So we'll wait for this first coat of white to dry, and then we'll put on a second coat, and then we'll slap on the skeleton horde wash. That seems quite a decent coverage. I'm keen to see how it looks when it dries. Sticking with the tabard, up next is Mephiston red for these 2 tassels either side. So there's the first layer of Mephiston red done on the tassels, and yeah, immediately I can see the difference between, yeah, the left side that had the white scar layer that it went on top of is so much brighter and bolder, whereas this is a bit dark and washed. I'll be interested to see how it changes after a second coat, so we'll just wait for these to dry and do that. But also, a really minor perk of doing a white undercoat is it was a lot easier to see the areas I'd missed or hadn't done, compared to just the dark black undercoat on the black model. It was kind of hard. Like I can see now there's little teeny tiny areas like just at the bottom of the tassel here that I've missed. Whereas when I was painting on top of white, it was really obvious the areas that I hadn't painted red yet because they were like glaring white patches. So yeah, we'll let this dry, do another layer, maybe leave it at 2 and just see how it comes out then, and then make adjustments based on which one we like and then make them both line up. Sweet, so we got the tabard and the tassels done. Look at that, and it's quite obvious, like now that I'm looking at it, so on this side it had the white scar undercoat, and on this side it was just the Chaos Black spray. And it's quite obvious, like you can see that the one that had the white scar underneath is a lot brighter. Even though they're different, that's good though, because that's the lesson we wanted to learn. How does the colour underneath affect the colour on top? So although it does look a bit mismatchy, it's good, it's what we wanted. We wanted to see the difference. Yeah, I'll quickly whack on this skeleton horde on the tassels just to make it a little bit more uniform, and then we'll chuck some Eshin Grey on the ribbons. I actually think that's all the ribbons. There's not that many, to be fair. There's just, yeah, so the back of the legs, kind of like his crotch area here, and then there's one a little bit on his arm, just there, and then just on his hand. Just nice little extras. But yeah, so I've added the wash over. I really like the tabard, it's good. I like it with the wash. It hasn't linked up the two tassels shade-wise that much. It's still a little bit different, but again, like I mentioned, I'm kind of okay with that. It kind of reminds me of the lessons we've learned when I look at it. Cool, so where are we at? So in terms of colours, what's left is the top lantern needs doing. I think it's going to be fully gold, and there's some gold at the top of the tassels. I think it's gold anyway. Where's the box? So yeah, it's the gold on the top of those little chests, and then the gold on the lantern. He's got like some details in his leg down here. So I think I'll do the gold next. I'm just going to do a Retributor, I think, just 'cause it's nice and bright. So yeah, next up we've got Retributor armour. So the paint that's gone into this lantern is quite thick, it's clogging up the holes. Maybe I didn't water it down enough, so what I'm going to try and do is just get some of it out of the, oh god, I was going to say get some of it out of a dry brush, but it's taken a lot out, which I guess is okay. I'd rather take too much out and just top it up than leave it all soaked and full. Yeah, so there's like a lot of the gaps and the details are kind of getting lost because it was pooling with a lot of gold paint, so I just got a dry brush. Not specifically a dry brush type, but a brush that is just dry. Just kind of wipe some of the excess off. These little raised edges are going to be silver, so it's good that they're prominent. Oh, I forgot, this is a new pot of new pots. This is a new type of red. We've already got, I still think it's crazy that I've got 3 different shades of red, but we've got Mephiston, Evil Sun, and then I guess the darker version, which is Corn. Pop this open. Oh god. Like, I know it's only for the weapon casing, but I don't really mind buying one paint for one small part when I've already got a box of 17 of these things to build, so I feel like I'm going to get good use out of the Corn reds. There we go, look at that. Yeah, the little skulls are looking good. There's some details in his shin that are a bit hit and miss, you know. But at a glance, it's kind of okay from a distance. I think we'll come back to that and see what we can do. The weapon was hard, like more harder than I thought. There was like a lot of intricate, not intricate details, like going in between the chains, kind of under little tucking areas around the hand. It was a little bit tougher than I thought, you know. And then the eyes, every time. I forgot, like, I forgot how hard eyes are to paint. Like, I was looking at them and I was like, I've got this new Kalinsky Sable size 00 somewhere. So, green stuff with Kalinsky Sable size 00. I bought for like edge highlights because that's the size that I've heard people recommend. I tried doing one of his eyes with a small layer brush and it was way too big. So I was like, oh, let me try this with it. And it did help, but the eyes, nothing can help me do the eyes. Like, no amount of paintbrush, no magical tools can make me do eyes good. So, like, they're filled in. They're okay. They've just sort of bled out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just tidy them up. So in the tidy up process, there's loads of little bits, like on these knee here, there's some white, on his face needs tidying up. Around the gun, there's some little bits. So all that's left to do colour-wise is the axe and then some little details I've missed, like I mentioned the silver on the lantern. Yeah, so we'll just do the axe next and then we can move on to some tidying up and highlighting. Right now we're on to Balthazar Gold for this kind of like generator, just here. The axe looks kind of cool. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the gold on like the tips. Maybe the Nuln oil will save us. I don't know if it's maybe too much gold. Maybe that's it, because it's got the gold on like the axe and then the lantern on top. But I've got some tidying up to do just around there while I've got all the metallic paints going, so maybe that'll bring it all in together. So let's grab some Lady Belcher. I've kind of added some more silver onto it to dull down some of the gold. Not even necessarily like some of the spillage, just like some teeny tiny details that were gold. I've kind of gone over with silver just to bring it back a little bit, and I think I like that a bit more. Although I'm hoping that once I add some non-oil, that will make it a bit nicer. And I think that's next. Let's have a little look. Awesome, so I think that's all of the colours done. Yeah, I think that's all of the colours put on it. I've tidied up this axe a little bit, kind of dulled it down, done the shoulders, the tabard. Yeah, I think that's all of the base colours. And he's looking good. I like him. He's such a cool model. I really like the tabard and the coloured shouldered pauldrons. No, there's so many like little details on this guy, like the chains and the gun and the shoulder. And there's so much going on, especially like, I love the tabard and the tassels. It's awesome. It's so cool, like a proper regal like Templar. Like, you know, he proper looks the part. So yeah, I'm absolutely chuffed with how the model looks so far. Next up, I'm going to go to bed. I'm going to be honest with you, it's 11:30. I'm shattered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to bed, let all this dry, and then come back tomorrow and do the shading stuff, like the Nuln oil. I mean, it'll probably just be Nuln oil over most of the stuff, and then some highlights. There, so we finally made it. We're finally here to the edge highlighting, so we're going to use rust grey, I think. Well, I'm not opening it yet, actually, so let's take a look. That's a tough part. Oh yeah, that's a really bright grey. Cool, we also get to finally test out this Green Stuff World 00 brush. I've done a couple little bits with it, but we actually get to test it out for edge highlighting, because that's what I bought it for. So yeah, where do I even start? Oh, there we have it. I think I'm exhausted. It takes so long. I think in the future I might do the edge highlighting first, actually. I might do like a base layer and then the edge highlighting and then put all the other colours on, because I feel like I spend just as long doing the edge highlights as I do applying like the reds, the golds, the silvers. And I think the way I'm doing it now, we're doing all the colours, then the edge highlighting. I feel like I do the colours and I feel, I'm like, oh, I'm near the end, I'm almost there. And then I kind of get a bit impatient with the edge highlights. So I think next time I might actually start with edge highlights, see if that affects my like patience and my focus. But I'm really happy with the colour I chose, because it's done exactly what I wanted it to do. It's really highlighted where it's done well and really highlighted where it's done really bad. But overall, it's not too bad. Like some sections you can see are painfully, obviously bad, but some sections are alright. But at a glance, like when you're just kind of looking at it, it kind of does the job. It kind of highlights some of the areas and makes it stand out. And I'm quite happy with it overall, you know? I think it's definitely an improvement on what I've done before. I could definitely feel it while doing it. I was like, oh, this is kind of thing a bit more natural. I do want to go over and tidy up a lot of it, though, I think, with the black. Because there are some areas I'm just trying to find where it's like painfully obvious. Yeah, so like, yeah, you can see here on this side piece, it's so like thick and messy and it's bled over. Same with on the face, it's like around his eyes are a bit too thick. So what I'm going to do is just tidy up some of the spillage with the black, just to neaten it all up a little bit. I also want to try highlighting the shoulder pads, actually. Someone mentioned, because we've done Mephiston red on the shoulders and corn red on the weapons, these are two like quite dark reds. You can actually go over them with, you can go over it with Evil Suns because it's a lot brighter. So what I might do is try doing some red Evil Suns highlights on the shoulder pads and the little knobs on it as well, and then we might actually be done. Alright, time for what I think is the final bit, the Evil Suns Scarlet. I've even run out of space on my wet palette. I've made such a mess of it, so I'm going to have to chuck it on the dry palette just for this last little bit. It's like, I've been staring at this guy for like 10-15 minutes. It's like, he's done. I'm sure he's done. I've done all the base colours, I've done all the highlights, I've done all the washes. Like, I'm pretty sure he's done. Like, looking at the videos, I'm like, yeah, I think pretty much everything. I'm like, something's missing. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, that just doesn't look finished. I feel like there's something I've missed, it doesn't look finished, you know? And then it's hit me. I forgot about the cape. I completely forgot about the cape altogether. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Okay, yeah, that looks loads better. Cool, so we need to paint this, I think like white and with a red trim, maybe? Yeah. Just looking at the box art, it's like a white cloak with like a red trim. Oh, that looks terrifying to paint. Oh, just when I thought I was done, eh? I think what I'm going to do is the same as the left tassel here, the bright one. I'm going to paint an undercoat of white scar, probably 2 layers, and then put the Mephiston red on top, and that way it'll be nice and bright. So I guess the first step is to put 2 layers of white scar on this thing. Oh, there you go, build like that. Oh yeah, that's cool. Look at that. Slap some glue on it and then lock it in. Let's leave that to dry and then we can slap on some red. Sweet, so the cape's all glued on. It's looking sweet. Look at that. Look at the swag that he gets with a big long cape. So what we're going to do next is we're going to do some layers of Mephiston red on the cape, just make it nice and bright and red. And luckily, I need to go to the gym after this. So what I can do, clap on some layers and that will give it a nice amount of time to dry. Oh shit, oh, I forgot I was going to leave this like folded part white. I got too trigger happy. So we'll give that an hour and a half or so to dry. We'll come back and see how we're looking and what kind of coats need to go on it. It's been 4 hours, it's been quite a while. I went to the gym, came home, did some bits and bobs around the house, so it's actually been about 4 hours. Yeah, it's a nice, real nice dry, smooth finish from that. I'm just going to chuck another coat of Mephiston red and white scar. So I'm going to do something absolutely wild now. I'm not even following any guides or tutorials and just try something to fruition. So I want to see if I can slot some of this corn red, which is a bit of a darker red, into the gaps and the recesses of the cape, just to see if it makes a bit like a darker shadow. And I really water it down, so it's almost like a wash. So yeah, maybe let's just try, there's like a divot just here. Oh, that looks a bit garbage. I'm not sure about on the camera with all the light, but in person, not too great. I think maybe I went a bit too far. Maybe the first one should have been like just one straight line down and then coming out, and then let's just try building up some layers and see what happens. So you're just trying to tidy up some of the areas I've gone over. I'm just kind of playing whack-a-mole, really, just kind of chucking paint about where I think it would look cool for folds and lighting, and just playing around a bit. Like I mentioned, there's no sort of tutorial or guide or following for this. I'm just kind of having a go, just playing around based on some of the things I've done in the past. Could come out to be absolutely horrible, who knows. I took some corn red and kind of applied it all around in the sort of like gap here to make, because it's a darker red and a lighter red, it kind of makes it look a bit darker, like the shadows or something. Then every time I kind of apply the layer a little bit lower, a little bit smaller, like on a less area, so it kind of builds up like this little gradient, similar to this sword that I did a while back, like the oranges and the reds. So I try to build up kind of gradient of shadow. Then also, as I was getting to the final couple layers in the middle, I just added a little bit of a badent black into the corn red to make it really dark. Again, I don't know if this is right or wrong or what, I'm just kind of putting it out my arse and trying all sorts. So I hope that while that dries and sets and then ruins the model, we're going to grab some Evil Sun's Scarlet. It's a brighter colour. I'm just going to try and highlight some of the bumps on the cape that are sticking out, because that's where the sun will be shining on it, they'll be lightest, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. I mean, actually, to be fair, when you look at it from a distance, it doesn't look horrendous. But yeah, it's not great. I'm going to chuck a wash on it. I'm not sure what wash. I think probably just the skeleton horde, the same I did in the tabard. What's the Agric Surf shade? Let's have a look at the two, actually. This side. It's a bit yellowy, so actually, yeah, do you know what, maybe I'll go for the Agric Surf shade. I'll try a little bit of Earth shade first, and then see how I feel. Let's grab a little bit of skeleton horde for the whites. Let's leave this, yeah. I'm not sure if we've maybe ruined the cape with the wash, but let's leave it to dry and then come back and see how it's looking, because I think that's my beard, to be fair. So I guess if we've ruined it, the next thing you'll see is me trying to fix this. If I haven't ruined it, the next thing you'll see is the mug reveal. Ooh, all suspense, what will be? What's coming up next? Let's take a look, shall we? Ooh, ooh. Da, da, da. Look at that, he's awesome. Oh, man, he's incredible. Let's chuck him up on the podium so I can get a good spin. But first impressions, I love him. It looks awesome. It's so cool. It looks sweet. There he is, our first ever Black Templar. I absolutely love him. He's amazing. I love how he looks. I love the model. I love the pose, all the colours. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this. Definitely a big Black Templar fan already. I love him. In terms of the paint job, it's okay. The edge highlighting, I'm glad I picked the colour, like the grey. It really exaggerates the highlights and shows where we went wrong, where we went well, what we can improve on. Like some parts, like his knees look quite cool. Like I think the knees are okay. There's like some side panels around here that aren't too bad. There are some sections that are a bit messy and a bit blotchy. Overall, it's not incredible, but I do think it is an improvement. I think we're getting somewhere. Trying to have different like colours under the red to paint on top of was awesome. I absolutely love the belt and the tassels and all the interweaving details, like things that are going under each other and over the top of each other. Yeah, I absolutely love posing him. Like I love this whole like axe in the air, running foot off the ground, running forward. It's incredible. One thing I didn't go over actually was the basing of him. Yeah, I brought this Sterling Mud a little while back, and I thought I'll give that a try as a base and see what that's like. And honestly, I'm not actually a massive fan of it. It's a bit meh. I'm sure maybe with it being mud, you're probably meant to use it in conjunction with other stuff. But I just thought I'd slap it on and see what it looks like. It's not great. I think I'd rather stick with the technical Armageddon Dust, just because it's a little bit brighter and because it's such a dark model. Maybe I want like a brighter base, so we'll do that in the future. But no, he's incredible. I absolutely love him. The cape, which is where we last left off, it's okay. Like I think the cape could be better in the future. Like I've seen some guides online that look awesome, that look really cool. So I might try that with some stippling and all sorts of layering. But in terms of how it looks in the model, it's incredible. Like it adds so much to it, like a big cape flowing behind him. But no, overall, I could not be happier. I love him. Also, the chains on the gun, I forgot about that. Like, it's so cool. I'm not really sure what this thing on his knee is. I kind of ballsed that up a little bit. Like, I kind of couldn't really make out the detail and paint it well, but it's quite a minor thing that's okay. This axe as well, it's quite simple. I didn't really do out with it. I did silver and gold. Like, I didn't do a fancy effects. I just kept it super simple, but I'm fine with that. Like, I love how it looks. But yeah, big fan of this. Absolutely love it. I can't wait to paint more. There we go. Our first ever Black Templar, all fully painted, all built, all done. And he's incredible. I love him so much. He's definitely, again, like every single time, my favourite model now that I've done. He's incredible. I love all the bells and whistles, like the tabard, the cloak, the tassels. Like, I think I think it's called a sword brethren, so he has got all the extra little bits. I'm not sure if everyone else has all this extra, but the whole like black and red aesthetic of the Black Templar, I absolutely love. It's so good. I was a little bit worried that the black would just be a bit plain, like the Raven Guard Terminator I did. But no, all the bells and whistles and all the redness really bring it in together, and I absolutely love him. He's so cool. I love his posing the most as well. Like, he's got, I don't know if you can see, he's got like 1 foot off the ground and the axe in the air, almost like he's like kind of swinging it in motion. And I think I forgot how much I enjoy that aspect of the whole Warhammer hobby. Like, building the models, choosing the weapons, choosing the parts, posing them, like little action figures. It's incredible. It's my favourite part, definitely, because last time I did the Blight Hauler last time, which is just a vehicle, and it was all like push fit, there was no customization, and I enjoyed painting that model, and looking at it on my desk now, it's really cool. There's something about just like choosing the weapon. Like, I could choose a specific gun, a specific weapon, like different sort of heads, attachments. Like, I love it. I love having all the options and picking the one that I love the most that resonates with me and making it my own. Even the little stuff from like the axe, like being in the air or like just being at his side. Like, I love all those little choices. I'm so hooked, and I'm also so glad I got this, like the Combat Patrol. It definitely, when I saw it, I thought this looks perfect for me. It's like just a big box of plastic, loads of stuff to try, and now after building this and seeing how much is left, it's like, oh my god, the emotions are mixed. Like, it's so exciting seeing how much I've got left to build and paint, and so much more to look forward to. But yeah, I'm just so excited to crack open the box and carry on with the rest. In terms of paint time with this guy, it's about 5 hours or so, I think, maybe like 4.5. I uploaded all the footage. I looked over it. It's about like 4 hours of painting across a couple of days. It is really cool seeing the progress, not just on the one specific model, but the hobby overall, and getting my knowledge of the paints and stuff is getting better, and it's really cool to see that. Like, I saw a picture on one of the videos where I was looking for some reference art for the axe, and I saw the little power nodes like online, and I immediately looked at that and I was like, that kind of looks like Balthazar gold, or like a dark bronzy gold colour, and I was like, I'll just grab that and put it on. And I know, gaining the knowledge or sort of learning of what paints are what, even just by looking at them, going, no, that kind going like, oh, that kind of looks like this colour, and just having the confidence just to use it, and it goes, yeah, that looks all right, is cool. It's amazing to see that kind of grow and get better over time, whereas before I was like, I was writing out like a list of every paint for each part, looking at it, like waiting for them to say it in the videos, being like, what is that, I don't know. Now to be a little bit more further on with the hobby, it's really cool to see that sort of side grow and be like, just to know what paints are what and kind of get a rough idea of what goes where without having to like basically hold someone's hand the entire time along a video. Like, I still like following tutorials because it gives me that sort of, that guide to be like, here's kind of what you need to do. So it lets me focus on other things like getting better rather than worrying about what paints. But I definitely feel like I'm kind of expanding out a little bit into the, oh, I don't need a full guide from start to end, step by step, baby hand holding the entire time. So that's a really good feeling to see. I think we're only going to get better from here. And speaking of where we're going from here, I think, so next time, I think next video, we're going to build 3 of these Primaris Crusaders and try 3 different like painting techniques, if you will. So one of them I want to do dry brushing, so do like a base coat and then dry brush edge highlights on. Another one I want to do is like zenithal highlights, where you, I think it's where like you spray it, an undercoat, and then you get like a grey or a white from like a top down, almost like that's the light, and then use like contrast paints to fill it in. And then I also want to try some sub-assembly, so I want to take one of them, build them in loads of different parts, and then paint it the more traditional way, like doing the highlights with the brush and everything, but in like a sub-assembly in each individual parts. So that's what we're going to do next video. I love doing this guy so much, like, I don't even want to edit the video, I just want to get stuck into more models, but I do also really, really enjoy this whole like video process. Like, it's super fun. Like, it's cool to see, like, I love all the comments everyone leaves. It's just really nice to see. I really appreciate them, thank you. Just to see that like other beginners in sort of the same level are like finding the videos really helpful. It's really, really cool to see. That's why I started the videos, because it's just fun to like share the hobby and the journey, especially with other people in a similar sort of stage that's sort of just starting out. It's like, it's just nice to share, and it's kind of fun, and it's cool to see all the comments. I really appreciate it. And everyone's been like so nice. Not just in like the YouTube comments, but online, which like ask for help in like Discords or Reddits and stuff. It's a great community, so I really appreciate all the kind words. So yeah, if you like this video, drop us a like and subscribe, and tune in next time when we do 3 in 1, which I think might be the most minis I've ever done in one video, which I imagine is going to be an absolute handful. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.